leaving Edgar's band, I came out, and I'd done the Boz Scaggs thing. But leaving Edgar's band, I came out to California and put the word out that I wanted to start a rock band myself, and got this call from this guy named Sammy Hagar, and he said, "I'm your man, I'm your man," and because he had just seen me play on stage with Edgar Winter at Winterland, and he wanted some of that big rock stuff. And so, and we clicked immediately. He brought his list of songs out, brought his lyrics, got mine. We got together. I'd known Bill Church from Van Morrison days, who played with me, and Sam had done some sort of a demo with Denny Carmassi, who I drove up to Cotati at this club called the Inn of the Beginning, and hired him on the spot from the band he was in, because it was like a little club band. I said, "You want him?" And he said, yeah, okay. We shook hands, and it was a done deal. But so there's never been a challenge working with people in a band as far as like writing. I've just been really lucky. I mean, I know a lot of, especially guitar players and singers, have conflicts, or any musician, anybody who writes music and someone who writes lyrics, they kind of go back and forth. But I haven't had that. That challenge wasn't there. The challenge was just to do the best we could and ignore everybody else and just do what we want to do.
Well, that album that came together is just even better 40 years later almost. Can we hear some of the licks there? Right? Rock the Nation, Rock Candy.
Yeah, well, that was one thing. I'm trying to figure out where I got that from. It was like I mean, the most simplest elementary riffs. I mean, parallel riffs on the, and I'm trying to remember where I got that. I'm looking back, and I think I might have some of it might have influenced me literally from MC5. MC5? Yeah. That I think that Rock the Nation might be a slight influence from. You know what I mean? I think I might have had a little bit of that in my head, And Mike Bloomfield said one thing. Mike Bloomfield, the great guitar player from the East West album, the Paul Butterfield band, and he, he gave a quote, and I forget, it's probably somebody else's quote, but he said, whenever imitation becomes so strong that it takes on its own character and its own identity, it becomes innovation. And he's right. I mean, because I obviously wasn't doing that riff, but and riffs from that album, we were sitting in a rehearsal room smaller than this, with 2 stacks of Marshalls, 200-watt stacks of amps, drum kit, huge bass rig, just the PA here, and all that was in the PA was Sammy's voice. So loud that the people outside on the street were going, "What's going on in that room?" It was huge. And we would always, I had a little cassette player, like a lot of bands do now, but I had this little cassette player that I would always just click it, just to hear what we were doing. And I know that we were all, of course, like massive Zeppelin fans, along with Deep Purple, along with Robin Trower, along with The Who, along with the Stones, and just big fans of current cool heavy music. And I know that Denny drummer was playing something like When the Levee Breaks, one of those big deep halftime things. And I was just screwing around. I was like, and so we ended up playing this riff, and that sounds pretty good. But we went back the next day, and we were trying. That was a cool groove we played yesterday. What was that? And had I not been able to pull my cassette player, rewind it, play the tune back, and get it, we would have never had Rock Candy. I mean, it's that kind of thing. It happened with all that stuff.